You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African-American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
Want your boss to put some real action behind the rhetoric when they talk about making your workplace more inclusive? Find out how to hold their feet to the fire and demand diversity on the Diversity Dude podcast.
Hello there, and welcome back to the Diversity Dude podcast, recognized as one of the top 100 diversity and inclusion podcasts in the U.S. I'm your host, Lambers Fisher, marriage and family therapist, award-winning author, and national speaker on the topic of multicultural awareness and diversity. And whether it be through my one-on-one relationship building efforts as a therapist or my informing and empowering efforts as an author or speaker, know that my personal mission is to do my part to improve the world one strengthened relationship at a time. Now, today I'd like to share with you a few thoughts about how birthright citizenship impacts you. So, this past week, the Supreme Court reaffirmed the constitutional principle of birthright citizenship, which maintains that individuals born in the United States automatically receive American citizenship at birth, regardless of their parents' immigration status. More specifically, the ruling directly contradicted a 2025 executive order directing federal agencies to deny automatic U.S. citizenship to certain children born in the United States if neither parent was a U.S. citizen at the time of birth. This ruling affirms that denying birthright citizenship is in direct contradiction to the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Now, why am I sharing all this on this Diversity Dude podcast? Well, whether or not you consider yourself to be a political person or whether or not you consider yourself to be truly invested in Supreme Court rulings or the birthright citizenship issue, I believe that the ongoing birthright citizenship debate and this most recent ruling have the potential to impact you, even if you're already a citizen of the United States of America. The reason for this is because people's varying views and perspectives on this hotly debated topic unfortunately impact how we see and understand each other, and consequently, the quality of personal and professional relationship interactions we have with each other. Not only that, but unfortunately, many of the perceptions people have about why people are on different sides of the debate influence them to either view and treat others negatively or aggressively defend themselves from what they feel are preemptive attacks by those on a different side of the debate that were never actually intended. And it is here, at the point of misunderstandings that can damage development and maintenance of healthy cross-cultural relationships, where I'd like to be a benefit to you. So, if you'd allow me a few moments of your time, I'd like to offer a few considerations regarding the commonly misunderstood perspectives on birthright citizenship, and more specifically, how birthright citizenship impacts you. The first consideration is this: birth tourism is not a threatening pandemic. What do I mean? Well, if you're not familiar, birth tourism, a term used to describe those who travel to the U.S. specifically to secure citizenship for a baby, accounts for less than 1% of U.S. births annually, according to research. In addition, family members do not automatically receive the right to live or work in the U.S. just because their child or relative is a birthright U.S. citizen. Because of this, individuals and groups who use or oppose birthright citizenship using the argument that maintaining this constitutional principle is like having no borders at all, no rules or regulations, and making us all vulnerable because criminals will manipulate the system and flood the country to make our lives worse is not supported by research. After all, babies aren't criminals, and everyone else, the adults, still have to jump through hoops to become a citizen just as they did before. Similarly, when a family member or coworker argues for birthright citizenship, Know that this is not the same thing as arguing for your harm, as if they're choosing to invite the whole country to live in your house, destroy your home that does not have the capacity for that many people, having no regard for your possessions and making you look like a bad person for not welcoming them in that massive destructive impact they describe. Instead, it's more like they're arguing not only for what seems to them like a small percentage, but also for the health and well being of who they perceive to be innocent babies, not adult criminals, not their parents. Since laws, rules, and regulations are still in place to painstakingly discern who is safe to come to and become citizens of this country. Though birthright citizenship is admittedly an important topic with significant ramifications, hence the executive order efforts and the Supreme Court involvement trying to block it. In order to communicate healthily about it, we need to keep its scope and its consequent impact in perspective as well. The second consideration is this: value differences can disrupt family relationships. When disagreements exist between parents and even adult children, between spouses, or among extended family, the potential for strain on the relationship is high, even to the point of exile or the disowning of family members. And this doesn't even necessarily have to involve families with birthright citizens among them. Instead, differing views may communicate to other family members either a lack of value and care for their country, enough to boldly deny unearned additions under seemingly questionable or manipulative circumstances, they say, or a lack of care and consideration for babies who find themselves to be innocent victims of a fight between parents and government agencies, others say. If the conversation stays there, then the surface level fight can leave both sides mad, hurt, or even offended at the lack of care that their own family members seem to hold. Not only that, but statements like, if you can support that side, then I don't even know who you are anymore, may be expressed in increasing number, despite all of the life that they shared together. Unfortunately, it is often the case that their family member is exactly who they thought they were in so many different ways. Their past connected family experiences of each other didn't change, nor were secret and beliefs being hidden during the process. Instead, the newly discovered that on the surface topic, the sensitive topic with various imperfect solutions to choose from, they were both trying to do what they thought was best for the country, was best for the state, best for their city, and ultimately was best for their family. They just disagreed about which imperfect pros to pursue and which imperfect cons they would have to reluctantly accept. Which leads to consideration number three: how you see them impacts how you see me. For many, the debate for or against birthright citizenship impacts them even as U.S. citizens, because if something is this foundational to the way this country has functioned for hundreds of years can be changed, not because new research that supports it actually determined that it was detrimental to the country, but based more on cultural biases and fear promoting rhetoric than new research supporting the need for change, and as easily changed as an executive order without checks and balances to confirm that that's what's in everyone's well-being, then that has the potential to make anything changeable and thus everyone unsafe. This would essentially declare that one person has the power to decide who is a citizen, who is not. Practically speaking, the trickle-down effect of this is that it would encourage government agencies, from federal agencies and programs to local law enforcement, to continually look at, and treat people differently with more or less value based on how they became citizens and whether they are considered real citizens or debated and might be revoked soon citizens. Some may even go so far in their daily lives to say, why waste your time getting to know them, befriending them, hiring them, making them feel like they belong? After all, they won't be here long anyway. You shouldn't even be here in the first place, ultimately contributing to more division and strained personal and professional relationships everywhere. With all that being said, without trying to solve the birthright citizenship debate altogether, my hope for you is simply that you will be able to see that while people have various reasons for believing what they do about birthright citizenship that are meaningful to them without being an intentional attack on you or those you care about, our goal can still be to learn to positively interact with everyone we encounter and convey that they have value to you beyond their citizenship status. Regardless of how you vote, it is in everyone's best interest to treat those around you with value and respect, to collectively identify the needs of those around you and to help meet them. And if you're in need at some point in your life, I hope somebody will do the same for you. If we're all able to do that more and more increasingly over time, then no matter what executive orders or Supreme Court rulings may come, we can all see and treat each other with mutual value, mutual care, and mutual intent to make this country the best it actually can be, one day at a time. And with that, I'll say thanks again for listening to today's Diversity Dude podcast. If you found it positive and insightful, then be sure to like and subscribe so I'll know which topics you'd like me to share more on in the future, and share with the friends so that they can be encouraged as well. To find out how you can cultivate a culturally safe work environment for you and your team, visit lambertsfisher.com/playbook for a free guide. You can also learn more in my award-winning book, Diversity in Clinical Practice, which offers unique ways to positively address the often divisive topic of diversity, equipping health professionals like you in your efforts to meet the greatest variety of cultural needs possible for those whom you serve. If you haven't heard it yet, I invite you to visit TED.com and check out my talk called What to Do When You Offend Someone, where I offer positive and practical perspectives on how to navigate unintentional offenses in daily life. To date, it's been viewed over 500,000 times. Check it out for yourself, and if you find it encouraging, share it with the friends so that they can be encouraged as well. And as usual, I look forward to addressing as many topics as possible in future podcasts to help you improve as many relationships as possible at work, at home, and in your community. And as always, remember this: you don't need to know everything about everyone in order to have a positive impact on someone. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a great day.
Tune in each week and find out how to demand and implement diversity at your job. To hear more, check out previous Diversity Dude shows on ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
Welcome to Old National Bank.
I understand you're all about protection.
Well, we protect you in all kinds of ways, with advanced fraud monitoring and secure digital banking to protect you today, and with dedicated personal bankers to protect your tomorrow.
I'm impressed.
Protection for today and tomorrow.
Could I just...
Oh, go for it.
Old National Bank. Just another reason to get old.
Where'd you get this?
It came with my couch.
Were you counting on a personal care assistant or autism provider who is no longer able to provide services for your child this summer? Don't panic. The Minnesota Department of Human Services just finished an urgent statewide effort to make sure providers of high-risk Medicaid services fully comply with state requirements to provide quality care. The department recently completed a top-to-bottom compliance review of almost 5,600 providers of high-risk services, including personal care assistance and autism programs. If your child's provider was disenrolled, it is time to be proactive. Let me ask you a question. Does your child have a case manager? They usually can help you find a new provider. If your child does not have one, the department will be reaching out to you directly to make sure you know how to find someone new. Understand what's happening and how to get help at mn.gov/DHS/find-care.
Our mission is to positively impact and enhance the lives of those who serve or served. So the Support Center, we built this as a place to really be a community center for those that we serve, those vets, those first responders, and then their families. It's a place where they can go be with other people in a safe, healthy, welcoming space. Our Support Center has a big focus on the arts because the arts are something that help our people heal. We have a large wood shop, a laser room where we laser engrave, wood, metal, plastic, glass, slate, all kinds of different things. And then we have an art studio where we paint and we color and we draw and thread work. And we have a 3D printer in there. Then we also have a gym. We also have access in our space to immediate access to therapists and support that way. So, when people are having a tough day or they just say, today is the day I need to talk to somebody. At a normal place, it's really hard for you to just walk in and get that support, whereas here we have that.